He's a footballer. His name's Messi, and he's got the number 10 on his shirt. He's the most Googled person in the world, and all of the above is all I know about him. So everything else, I'm just going to tell you from what I can see in his palms. Here's his sweaty palm right here. It's a bit of a sort of spatulate palm, isn't it? It's broad-topped spatulate, which is interesting because that's not very common for someone who's in a very sort of physical role. Let's have another look. I mean, it's only just broad-top spatulate, but it is. And it's a bit of a confusing palm here because the initial shape of it I thought was an earth hand. I thought this was a square palm, short fingers, but no. Actually, I think this is a fire. I'm seeing lots of fire hands at the moment. And I think that's because, you know, one of my weekly palm readings is on celebrities, and celebrities mostly are fire hands, and that's because of this sort of ambitious nature and the social kind of nature about the fire-handed people. They're very motivated, and in order to be successful, be famous, you kind of need to have that fire about you, and also to motivate others. To be fire is to be inspirational, and so that's why often a lot of celebrities are fire hands. So here he is again, a long palm and short fingers, but there is a kind of squarish element to his palm. I think there's a lot of order and routine to his life, and I think he's a very sort of practical person as well. So looking at personality-wise, I think we can see here this person is probably a bit selfish. Is that fair? Perhaps not. Perhaps that's not fair to say, actually. But the thumb suggests, the angle of the thumb, the way it's turned like that, and the angle of it in general suggests a bit of a sort of self-centered nature. However, to negate that, there's quite a large space between the heart and the headline, and that can often show quite a lot of openness, a warm kind of generosity. So there's a bit of a contradiction there, and I wonder if this person... So notice how the lifeline is quite tightly wound. So have a look at it here. Notice how the lifeline, it's quite tight. It doesn't swing outwards, you know, in the way that you would expect someone to be putting themselves out there. And that shows that they're quite sort of potentially quite a private person, keep their cards close to their chest maybe, but then also they're the people that they love and hold dear to them, there's only a few of them in their life. That's sort of what that shows. But also this ability, this capacity to love is sort of a bit reduced there as well. The emotional zone, as it were, from where the heart line, you know, kind of separates this part of the palm, it's not small. So again, we've got another sort of contradiction. I feel like Messi, whoever this person is, I don't watch football, as you can probably tell, is a bit of a contradiction in terms of a bit of a sort of a Jekyll and Hyde in that way that he's one person to some and a completely different person behind closed doors. This knot here and here and here, as well as the quite lengthy second phalanges of the fingers, shows an ability to quite a numbers person, some sort of materialistic nature, but then also to contradict that, the headline, it's not that's not a good example as to what's going on here. It doesn't reach in this area of securing a kind of financial fortress. So that's interesting that money is not actually, whilst he's got a good amount of it, it's not actually all that interesting to him. His headline ends in an excellent place, just under Apollo, on the Mercury line, of which he has a sensational Mercury line. Look at this. I mean, that's incredible. So you see what it looks like on the other hand. On his right hand, it's not so present. So that shows, now remember that the ulnar side of the palm is the unconscious, and the unconscious abilities and instincts come into play in our everyday life without us even realizing it. So, it could be that in warfare we kind of instinctively know when to duck around the corner away from, um, a barrage of bullets, or perhaps, in this case, it's useful for those who need these kind of quick responses, and to unconsciously know what the right thing to do is, to read other people's body language, to read in the moment what it is to do. This is a highly instinctive person, an intuitive person, and that makes sense. Now notice that this is interesting. Mercury, the finger of expression, physical included, is rounded, as is Jupiter, Jupiter's decision making. So their ability to physically express and make decisions, they are intuitive, whereas creativeness and planning and work, there's a bit more order around these. There's a bit more of a kind of a sense of physical results around this person's talents. That makes sense because of the physical role that he has, as well as the career as well. There's a routine, there's an order here. As I say, there's this sort of squarish nature of the palm. It shows this routine and order and reliability, as well as this here also shows, it's not as pronounced as I thought it might be. This angle of proficiency also shows up on people who have order. You always see it in soldiers' palms, as well as craftsmen. And that kind of coincides with what we see here. It's kind of the two middle fingers are a bit sort of more spatulate. So it's interesting. Now with racing car drivers, pretty much all of the fingertips are rounded off. So we've got here a very mixed personality as well as mixed traits. And I find the heart line interesting as well as the headline, because they're a little bit wavy on the left hand. Internally, I feel like Messi has some struggles mentally and emotionally. The heart line, it curves upwards like this, and then there's a bit of a fork coming off it. And that shows a couple of things. Firstly, Messi is someone who is sexually aroused by visual stimuli. He's also, actually, all things considered now, quite a loving person, and I feel like family is very important to him. But again, these are cards he keeps close to his chest. The relationship line is very strong, and it does appear linked to this sort of intuition as well. Messi would probably make an exceptional businessman. So this kind of fork coming off here of the headline, this shows idealism. It reaches up onto Jupiter, and Jupiter is many things. Judgment's one of them, decision making is another. So the emotions, the idea of this person's relationship, he has probably quite high expectations in others, in his those people he holds close to him. Now, obviously, being someone who's very wealthy, I'm not gonna, I'm making an assumption here, but I know I'm not wrong about that. It's interesting we don't see, the classic kind of Apollo line, success line. We don't even see what looks like a money line. It's just, there isn't much of an Apollo line at all. And so this shows us a couple of things. Money is not important to him. What's important to Messi is... okay, I'm backtracking a bit here. Now, on the right hand, we do see some sort of Apollo line. It's not as actually strong as I would think, but on the right here, we see it. On the left, we don't. So actually, this shows that this person has really made something of himself financially, materialistically. There are gains there, although it's still not as strong as you might expect. And that shows that, again, this person, they don't see money as important as, health and relationships. However, when you look at, here it is again, when you look at the right hand here, look at this family ring. Look at just how thick that is, how strong that family is. Again, this is someone who I feel family is huge to him. The lunar mount's quite strong at Pluto, and I feel that, again, the Mercury line's strong here on the right hand. There are some ancestral memories here, and I feel like this person has kind of inherited these and utilizes these memories on an unconscious level, instinctive level, utilizes, and I think that's probably where a lot of his talents come from. The headline, it does appear to fork. So the headline, it reaches quite low down into lunar, and again, that's this unconscious thoughts. This is someone who acts very quickly in the moment and relies on instincts and imagination. It's a relatively creative headline, and there's a large fork coming off it. This is known as the writer's fork, which is not something you'd associate with a footballer. But, as I have said, this is a broad-topped spatulate palm. Look at just how much it's wider at the top. In this image it is anyway. In other images it's only just noticeable. But this means there's quite a lot going on in Messi's sort of emotions and his mind. He's quite... if you look, this to here, it's sort of more... it's wider at the top. And generally speaking, with athletes, with those who are in roles where their bodies are in physical demand, you notice that lunar is quite well developed, and as is Venus. We don't see that so much here, and that's generally because, you know, vitality, strength, constitution are required, and also lunar, this place of imagination, but also showing off and putting ourselves out there in the limelight, you know, and having and this is why careers always in the limelight with an audience always come from this area as well. So it's interesting to me that we don't see that actually there's a lot more going on mentally and emotionally than it appears physically. The writer's fork creates an extra ability to see life through other people's eyes, and that's why it's known as the writer's fork. A writer needs to be able to plant themselves in all their characters' shoes to provide us with these perspectives, and that's what it really does. It provides us with extra perspective. But what it also does is sometimes it can create dishonesty, because we see so many truths we don't know which truth is the right one. That's the downside of having a writer's fork. Now, to kind of find out a bit more and do a bit more digging, I don't see a Mercury finger that that's relatively straight. There's a bit of a kink here. That's not bad. That just shows appreciation for physical beauty. I don't see a dishonest person here. What I do see here, though, is, interestingly, the headline at where the fate line meets it at around that age of, that crucial age of 35. The headline, and I can't edit this image, it appears to move up towards outer Mars, and that shows a change in career, thinking more towards building a financial future. So I think, and also I feel that this person made huge gains in their life materialistically at the age of about 35. And what I do also find interesting is that this fate line, it kind of wraps around the lifeline, it runs alongside it, runs parallel alongside it, and that shows that the environment, it's almost coming in from Venus. It is just about, and that shows a career that's physically demanding. But the fate line following the career line, assisting the life, it shows that their chosen path in life corresponds and directly works alongside and suits their bodies, their environment, their health. So this person's career is having a direct and positive influence on their lifestyle and their health. Jupiter seems to kind of shelter slightly beneath quite a well-formed Saturn finger, And that shows this person has a good sense of right and wrong. Their ego is sheltering beneath this conscience, the sense of right and wrong. However, there is still, there is a little bit of a sense of this person's a little bit self-centered, and their ideas are probably a little bit far-fetched at times, but because of their keen instincts, they're probably they probably know actually what the best thing to do is, even though it might not seem like it. This person just needs a little bit of guidance around decision making. So from 50 onwards, notice, and this is a terrible picture I can appreciate, notice though, from 50 onwards on the lifeline, there appears to be a bit of a space there, a bit of a thinning. The life energies don't appear as strong for a little while there, for a few years, and then after that there seems to be, it comes back stronger, and then there's a blip. So I wonder if there's a health issue there. It's interesting because I don't see it on the right hand, but on the left. So this is an environmental thing, something to do at home around that kind of domestic sphere. So it's not health related. I don't think it's more around environment and home. So I wonder if there are some issues in Messi's marriage around let's say what age, around about 50-ish, maybe late 40s. So there we go. I don't know how old he is. I don't know anything apart from what I've told you and what the hands have told me. He's quite an imaginative fellow, and it's not quite the same thing as creativity. This is certainly someone with a lot more going on in their mind and their hearts than the average footballer, I would say, and that's probably a bit of a stereotype there. I probably shouldn't say that sort of thing. But we're all human, and I'm not always right. It's just interesting to me because my idea of who a footballer is and what they are and their interests, and it's shown me that actually I'm wrong, and that's what palmistry is so good for. It holds. It's such a reflective tool. It holds a mirror up to ourselves, but also when I read other people's palms, it shows me and it breaks down these kind of barriers and perceptions. And that's what it's done here. I've learned a little bit through this as well, as I do with every reading. So thanks, Messi. Thanks for letting me read your palms. Join me next Sunday for another Sunday case study on another celebrity. If you like me to read any celebrity in particular, drop me a message and or in the comments, or email me, and I'll consider it. So yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Let me know your thoughts. Please like and subscribe.